Today, we're going to be doing an analysis on a live execution from ICT from his latest video on December 1st, 2023. This was a live execution using the 60-minute discount BISI on the ES futures. This is the video right here. His entries were right here. His sells were up here, which were in the realm of about $12,000 to $15,000. We are going to go over an analysis of that trade so that we can learn from the best. If you want to be a multi-million dollar trade trader, you're going to need to learn from a multi-million dollar day trader. So that is what we're going to be doing today. And to start our analysis, we always need to move out and look at the higher time frames to evaluate where are we going. We've been going down for the past 2 days. We've had huge drops with a potential draw on liquidity being these new week opening gaps high and low down here. We may hit those later in the week, but ICT went long. What we need to look at is why did he go long in a market that has been trending down? Well, let's take a look at that together. Right here, we have a 1 hour BPR, a balanced price range. A balanced price range where we come down and we go up, creating a balanced price range in this area right around here. The key for a balanced price range is it taking liquidity on the downside or on the sell side. So we have sell side liquidity right here, and we grabbed that yesterday, and then we pushed higher in the afternoon session on Thursday. Now, obviously, this is pre-context to the trade that ICT took this morning, and that's what we're looking at. So we created this balanced price range, but another key indicator was the 1 hour immediate rebalance. A 1 hour immediate rebalance is when we have a large push higher, price wicks down to balance this range, this 1 hour range, and then immediately moves higher and explodes higher for the draw on liquidity, which we see was right here, and it grabbed that liquidity. That left behind this fair value gap, this 1 hour fair value gap in the form of a BISI. What I know about BPRs is that a BPR is a balanced price range, meaning there is no reason for it to come back down or break below this area. But we have further confluence in the immediate rebalance. An immediate rebalance immediately balances this price range and then moves higher. So the reality is there is no reason for us to go below this area right here. There's no reason for us to go below that because we have a BPR and it rebalanced that range immediately as well. But in the wake of this aggressive move higher, as we'll see on the lower time frames, is it left this very, very small volume imbalance. We're going to move into our lower time frames, the 5-minute, to look at ICT's executions, where he got in, and how he managed this trade. We always have to start on these higher time frames to get the context on where price wants to go. We hit sell side here, which was the immediate draw from this week. We hit our highs on Wednesday. We had a Wednesday reversal, and we pushed lower to the sell side right here. So if we grab liquidity, the next draw on liquidity usually is a push higher towards what we left behind. And as you can see, we already grabbed that liquidity. Let's take a look at the lower time frame. Let's look at the 5-minute here, and let's look at the executions by ICT. Now, to give context and to show us where we're at, this is that 1 hour BISI, that 1 hour fair value gap that we looked at before. That is right here. We're looking at that on the 5-minute. And this green line is that volume imbalance sitting right here on the 5-minute as well. Now, when you watch his video, which I'll put the link down in the description for you to check out so you can actually see the execution and him manage it in real time, he took an entry not right on the volume imbalance, but once it started wicking back up from this volume imbalance. He took it right at the low approximately of this 1 hour BISI, and that's where his first entry was with 10 contracts. It then came back up and came back down, and when it wicked down there again, he didn't even wait for the wick back up. He immediately grabbed 5 more contracts, and he was in for 15 contracts right here, targeting the volume imbalance. What is interesting is that based on the executions from his videos, really he was waiting for price to come down to this volume imbalance, and it was right off open. There's so much volatility at the 9:30 open that you don't know if we're going to keep pumping lower. But when it stopped on a dime on that volume imbalance and started to retrace, that was apparently enough for him to make an entry. His final draw on liquidity was the high of this leg of the range that was just created in the morning session. It was really nice to see how he managed his trade. He didn't hit his end target. His end target was right here, the final draw on liquidity, which we eventually hit. But as you can see, we had this big retracement right here, which came all the way back down to almost the low of this volume imbalance. ICT's initial draw on liquidity was this high that was formed at 4:30 a.m. during the London session. Yet he took partials at this swing high, and he took a partial at the 1 minute volume imbalance that was sitting right here. It's also, the volume imbalance is also on the 5 minute. You can see right here. Let's zoom in so you can see that. There's the 5 minute right there. He took his trade right here at this volume imbalance, sold on the push higher at the 10 o'clock. We had news at 10 a.m. and he still was in the trade. Most news does not change the direction that price is moving. It actually enhances that move, or will try to wick people and scare people out, as we did here, maintaining and still respecting the 1 hour and the volume imbalance here before this giant push higher. So you can see news as a form of manipulation, but still respecting key levels, and that is what happened here in this trade. At the 10 o'clock candle, which I want to show you, this was the 10 o'clock candle right here. Look at that candle. Boom. This would have freaked most people out. He took his first contracts here, and he took it to the tick, almost to the tick. We have price right here. That was his draw on liquidity, his initial draw on liquidity. It grabs it, comes back down, but he still had 7 contracts left, and after it came back up and it pushed higher, he sold a majority right here, and then he managed his stop loss and put his stop loss right here, right at this low of this candle, and that is where price eventually came to. After it came back up, it came back down and it stopped him out right there. So this is an overview of the trade from ICT on December 1st. If you like more video content like this, overviewing ICT's trade so you can get a deeper understanding of why he did what he did as we learn together, please like this video, consider subscribing, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.